on all we.
Uh-oh.
Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to our local development council meeting this evening. We're going to be very brief. All we have for this evening is the committee reports or updates on a couple of things. First on the on our committee assignments, and second on the what I want to say, we wanted to deal with or develop SOPs for each of these divisions that we have created. So those are the things that we will be discussing tonight. Will be very, very short and brief tonight. Nothing of great urgency to report. We're still waiting on those who make it through the Office of Management and Budget in terms of dealing with the selection committee and those kind of things. So we'll hold the selection committee up, and we will start with our first report on the oversight committee, Dr. Lattimore and Keisha Walker.
Somebody.
I don't have anything to report.
Nothing to report tonight.
I don't. Keisha?
Where's Keisha?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, we don't have the final reports yet from the grantees from last year. So there will be actually nothing to report with respect to you. Now we'll move on to public relations with Rashida and Carrie Mack and the vice chair.
So just the quick update. This week, I connected with Ryan earlier this week and requested that reminder social media posts, if they could be sent out for the March 18th deadline on Friday for the grant application. And thank you, Ryan, and the comps team for getting those requested and out. The reminder was posted on the Prince George's County Nonprofits Facebook page on Monday. And I saw today that the county exec's Facebook page, it was posted on there today. So thank you all for getting that out this week. And that's the only update that I have.
Okay, were you able to get any of the pictures out of the opening of, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, Ryan did send those to me. It's been a couple of months. I've been having some medical issues, so we haven't finalized that, but we did connect on that as well a couple of weeks ago. And so I'll follow up and select the pictures, but I did get it was several pictures. So I was gonna select a few to go on the site.
Okay, for those of you who are joining us, what we are talking about is the American Job Center that opened up just a month or 2 months ago, and we're just trying to upgrade and upload some pictures to get people to kind of see what we're doing on the web page. We want to be a bit more informative on the web page, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're talking about with the public relations. Now, the needs assessment, Kevin Harris, Dr. Praler, and Senator Patterson on that committee. We established 5 committees when we took over in February, and the needs assessment is one of those. And what we're doing with the needs assessment committee is we are searching out what the needs are in the community. We're talking to churches and other things. Kevin, I have a list of nonprofits, about 100 plus nonprofits to send to you, so that we can kind of take a look at that list as well and see if there's anything in that list of grantees or organizations and what they might be offering, to see if that matches what we're looking for in the 6 mile radius. But it's your show right now, Kevin.
Absolutely. So appreciate that. So nothing really major to report at this time. Everyone on our team is really busy. But the goal is to, like I mentioned the last time I gave a report, we're going to do up a survey. The goal is to actually have the all the locations, email addresses that we will send out the surveys to. So it's good that we take the list that you give us as well and add that to the list. But we want to come up with those like 4 or 5 survey questions that will go out to the community to determine the different needs within the community and come up with some good data from that. But we won't look to send that out until later on in the year. So we got some time. The good thing, we got some time for that, because we want to have that sent out, responses back, give a report before we start the next round of grants. That way we have something in our hand that we can look at for data.
Okay, and then of course we want to post that online for invitations to anybody who is looking to submit grants for the area. For those of you who are visiting with us for the first time, Miss Monroe, Miss Colbert, Miss Morel, and I think it's Mr. Jordan, and then there's somebody on the phone. Let me just run over what we're doing. We ran into a situation last year where we had 5 people to term out all at the same time. We had the vice chair, the chair of the selection committee, and 2 other important positions, all to term out at the same time. And that, of course, created a great deal of turmoil with respect to us getting off and running with new assignments to this process. It took us a minute to get all of that. I think it took us close to a year to ultimately get up to speed. Ryan was assigned to some other things. Also, we lost a major entity in terms of our administrator that was running everything. So we just ran into a major problem. We took over in February, so it took us almost March, April, May, June, July, August, September, close to October to really get things back together and finally get our feet on the ground. And the first thing we did is we created 5 committees. We created a selection committee. We created an oversight committee because we discovered that there was a lot of, not necessarily misuse of money, but there was money that we felt we needed to deal with oversight, and we sent several of these grantees to audits and investigation as a result of that committee. We also developed the Public Relations Committee, the Needs Assessment Committee, and of course, the legislative branch, which is made up of Delegate Turner, Delegate Valderrama, and Senator Patterson. So we are just getting to this portion of reports, if she has anything to report to us in Delegate Turner.
Oh, you turned it over to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, good afternoon or good evening, everybody. I'm sorry if I look tired. I am tired. Okay, I've been in session since 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm just getting in my room. And the senator right now is still in session because we're getting ready to have a crossover. So all the bills from the Senate side has got to come over to the House side and vice versa. We have to send all those bills. We have already done the budget. We've had tough bills. I mean, between the gun law bill of those ghost guns and a lot of things that's going on that, it was just been too much for me to even bear. Tomorrow, they just notify us today that the primary's been pushed back. It's been, it's supposed to have been June 28th. I was so looking forward. Believe June. Now it's July the 19th. I think that's July the 19th. Now, one thing they have not told us, now tomorrow we have the Democratic caucus meeting. One thing they didn't tell us, if of you filing for if you want to run for something, it was supposed to be ending February the 22nd. They moved that until March 22nd. Now that's next week. Yeah. Now they did not tell us yet if that's been changed or not. I mean, I guess they will tell us tomorrow if it has.
It was all part of that same court order. So that's been changed to April 15th.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, so that's April 15th.
You know what that means, y'all? That means that more people can jump in the race. I've already have is 6 of us running for 3 seats at the moment. And Senator Patterson will probably wanted to come on to tell you about his news if no one has heard about the rumors that's going around with our senator. I've been hurt. I've already had my tears and cried and everything. But I wanted him to come on and tell the LDC about what he decided he's going to do with his Senate seat. So I won't just spoil the good news or the bad news, whatever, which one y'all want to call it. But right now, we both been missing each other. I mean, the Senate side stays in long and the House side stays in long. And the bills has been getting really bad right now. So let me tell you something. I can't wait till it's over so we can get back down to the things. And we're going to give you a full report of all. They're going to break it down to us of all the bills that we passed that y'all might be in, because you're not going to be interested in some of them, okay? But the ones that's really interested, we're going to, the senator and I said, we're going to sit down and we're going to put it all in order about from the least to the most important bills that we got passed. Okay, we're going to have that probably, okay, you said it's, well, session's still going to end April 11th. Session still's the same. Okay, so after the session ends on the 11th, we have sine die. Then we're going to have another meeting. We're going to have a meeting in April, correct? Third Wednesday in April?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, third Wednesday. And so we should have our report together to bring back everything important to the LDC and also everything that we're doing up in Annapolis to let y'all know what's been happening. Now, y'all might hear, I mean, you might be hearing all kinds of rumors. Don't believe nothing. Call Delegate Turner. Call Senator Patterson. We will tell you the truth. Believe me, I don't have no hidden agendas. Okay, so anything you want to know, I will tell you, wonderful people, because you know what? I just love LDC. So I want the best for the state of Maryland. I wanted to know when I got on here, I wanted to ask you, I got a call today that was kind of puzzling, and maybe you might know it, Kevin. Do you know of a fire station that's going right next to Oxon Hill High School?
No, I didn't hear nothing about that.
The fire people called me today. They're bringing a fire station near Oxon Hill High School. And at first I thought he said a police station. I said, oh no, they're not bringing a police station. No, it's a fire station. And you didn't, anybody hear anything about it? I just heard about it, and he's going to be sending me some update literature and Reverend Robinson, I will send y'all some update to the, what is it, the public relations person, and let y'all know what's happening around within our 6 radius. I'm so happy y'all changed that out. That 3-mile radius was killing me. So any old way, with our 6 miles and a lot of stuff that's going on. So I'm not going to talk y'all to death because Reverend Robinson said this was going to be a short meeting. You never, Reverend Robinson, you know what I told you before. You never should give a politician the mic.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And
you're not supposed to agree with that.
Well, you know, and then we had our new council member, Mr. Burroughs, to join us. So I'm scared to give him the mic after you said that. But I want, before we bring him on, I want to ask Ms. Colbert if she's representing Delegate Valderrama, if she has anything that she wants to report as far as the legislative branch is concerned.
Okay.
I think that there have been a lot of action, at least on the House side. They've done the abortion bills. They've done the ghost bills, as Delegate Turner just talked about. They've also done, and it's slipping away. It's been a very crazy session because it started out very slowly, and then all of a sudden they were in all the time. And Veronica Turner, I think they're going to double sessions
Double
on
tomorrow.
Thursday and Friday and then
Mhm.
in on Saturday. So, there's just a lot. And I wish I had known I would have brought a report, but thank you. I just
Yes,
wanted
ma'am.
you to know that I am representing Delegate Valderrama.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
Mr. Burroughs, Council Member Burroughs, we've been discussing to bring up to date real quick. On last year, we had 5 members of the Local Development Council all term out at the same time. We had the vice chair, the chair, the selection committee person, and 2 very important people to term out. And then we lost the administrator right behind that. And that threw us in a complete turmoil for almost a year in trying to get things settled. I was named by the county exec as the chair, or she asked me to take on the chair, which I agreed to do. And as a result of that, we have established some much needed things that were not in place at that time. I think the Local Development Council existed for about 5 years before we came into view this past year. And what we did was we developed 5 segments to this Local Development Council. The first was the Grant Selection Committee, the Oversight Committee, Public Relations, Needs Assessment, and the Legislative branch, what you just heard from and what you would be a part of. In establishing these, we ran into some things that we felt that we had concern with respect to how the money was being used. There was just no oversight. And with respect to how the money is being used, so we put an oversight committee in place, not trying to indict anybody, but we did send a number of people to audits and investigations. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but we thought that audit and investigation should take a look at how the money was being used, those kind of things. So those are the 5 areas that we developed. They didn't exist before last year. We took over in February, and as I said, we had a lot of turmoil in trying to get our feet on the ground and running smoothly, of which I believe that we're doing at this particular point. So we have we have the Grant Selection Committee, we have the Oversight Committee, we have Public Relations, and we want to try to get out more information about what it is we're doing to get more people involved in the idea of bidding for this money. We expanded the 3-mile radius to 6 miles to include more people in the process, or being able to service a bit more people. So we got the needs assessment committee, and then the legislative branch, of course, as I said, that you would be a part of. And before I give you the mic, I'd like to have Kimberly. Kimberly was late coming in. She's the Grant Selection Committee. What we have is standard operating procedures that we have to develop and reports from time to time on all 5 committees. Kimberly, good to see you this evening.
Thank you, Pastor Robinson. Good to be here, and good evening, everyone.
Do you have anything to report?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So we are underway from, I was trying to pull up my trusty timeline while you were talking. Ryan, I may ask you to keep me honest here. So we're underway from a grant application. Here we go. Perspective, the process kicked off in the February time. Well, this group kind of came together and gave sort of our final updates to the application itself. And the grant selection committee will be getting together in April to go through the pretty robust process that we do in terms of scoring grant applications and that sort of thing. There was a grant application workshop. Ryan, do you have an update on attendance there? Because I wasn't able to attend. Is Ryan? Okay, I see Ryan. In terms of participation or number of potential applicants or grantees that attended that?
Give me one moment.
Okay. So I know I put you on the spot.
I think it was something close.
No, I
to-
attended.
Okay, do you know how many there were that were there?
I think it was like over 70 something
Yeah,
people.
it was something close to the 80.
Yeah, 80 something.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's of course it's just a workshop, Mr. Burroughs, where everybody is given the opportunity to understand the process of submitting grant applications. And we had 60 some people there. We read the RIDE Act about the use of the money and those kind of things. For instance, last year we had we had 60 some people to join, and in the process of submitting for application, only 14, I think it was 14 people to submit an application. We read the RIDE Act about the use of this money, and a lot of people were, I think they think this is a giveaway. And we wanted to make it clear that this is not a giveaway. If you're going to use this money, we want to make certain that you use this money and you use it properly, and that there will be oversight in the use of the money and how you use it in the reporting process and everything else. So by the time we finished with reading the RIDE Act, threatening to go to jail and be put under the jail and all that kind of stuff, we only had about 14 people to literally come through the process. So of course, some of them in the process of filtering through, some of them, when you don't fill out them, I find it, and I agree with Ryan, I find it difficult to give somebody $50,000 that does not know how to fill out an application. So we had 191 to register, 90 attended in our last meeting. So we will get a look at the deadline. What's the deadline, Ryan?
So, go ahead, Ryan. I'll let you speak to it.
For the grant application,
Yeah.
this Friday at 5:00.
Okay, so we'll see who bleeds through the process, and of course the selection committee takes over at that point, and we move on from there. But that's pretty much the process. If you need any explanation beyond that, we can talk at some point in time. I did shake your hands on yesterday in the council session with representation of the planning board, not the planning board, but what was it, recreation? I can't remember what it was, but did get to see you there, and we can talk at some point in time. It's good to see you. I mean, while we have Senator Patterson, Delegate Turner, and Delegate Valderrama, it's good to have our council person to participate every now and then with us to be involved in what we're trying to do down here and how this money gets distributed. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn the mic over to our new council member, Mr. Burroughs, and allow him to speak to us for a minute, and then we're going to hear from, if we have any comments from our public, we'll hear from them, and then we'll close out.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and it was great seeing you yesterday as well. I don't have a long drawn out speech or anything. I really just came to listen and learn, and to say that I look forward to working with each and every one of you. On the line, we have Pleshette Monroe, who's also in the District 8 office. So she can always serve as a resource, as a liaison between my office and the LDC. If there's anything that I can do to support you as you uplift the 6 mile radius near MGM, I want to work with you. I'm only a phone call away. I'm happy to come attend these meetings or meet with you offline. If there's anything that I can do to help support, I mean, that's really why I'm here. I have a lot of respect for so many people on this line that I did not even know were part of the LDC until I just logged in just now. From Ms. Hall to, of course, Mary Hopkins Navy, who does a wonderful job of lifting our young people. I'm, especially at Crossland, I'm a little biased. That's where Delegate Turner and I live. We're neighbors. For those of you who don't know, and I see Kevin here and Ms. Mack and so many others. And so I'm just excited to be here, and I want to support. I'm only a phone call away. And anything that I can do to help uplift your work. If there are nonprofits that you want to support, that you need some backing to support, feel free to call me and reach out. I'm very interested in our young people, especially our young people who are struggling, who are going down the wrong path. How do we put services and programs around them, job training and mentorship and guidance? In Prince George's County, we have no throwaway children. And so the sooner that we're able to provide meaningful interventions and wraparound services for our young people, the better that they will become and the better that our communities will be. I'm very interested in supporting our seniors who are Reverend Robinson, I'm reminded that you said you can't give a politician a microphone because I'm about to go through this long litany of things when really I just came to say hello.
See, mute him, Ryan, mute him.
So I had to catch myself, but I'll just leave it there. But please, let's stay in contact. Let's work together. I'm only a phone call away. Anything that I can do to support. If you're ever over Delegate Turner's house, I'm right there. We're neighbors, so feel free to come on over to my house as well. And I look forward to being a partner with you and a supporter of you and all of your work.
Well, let's do this real quick. I'm going to ask everybody, starting with Carrie Mack, then Takesha Walker, Rashida Jackson, Dr. Lattimore, of course, Kimberly. I'm going to ask everybody to kind of introduce themselves so that you know who you're dealing with. This is a great group of people. We've been having a lot of fun, dedicated. Nobody's getting paid for what they're doing. These are people who are giving their time, their talent, their efforts, their expertise to what it is we're doing. And we kind of have a good time at doing this. I think everybody loves what they're doing. I wouldn't be here if it didn't. So I'm going to start with Miss Mack and ask her to introduce herself. From that point, we'll go to Miss Walker, Miss Jackson, Kimberly. Of course, you already know Kevin, and Miss Navies is our vice chair. You already know. Then we'll get to Kimberly, and then Dr. Lattimore, and go from there. And then, of course, Ryan and Nicole is out. She's coming on. We lost, in the midst of all of this change, we lost our administrator, Nicole Plater is taking on that responsibility, is doing a good job. We're bringing on slowly, but she's doing a good job. So we're going to ask everybody if they would take a moment to introduce themselves, and then we'll hear from any public comments that we may have, and shut it down from there. Ms. Mack.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Mack. I am in Clinton, Maryland, in District 9, and I've been on the LDC for just over a year. And I am very excited about what the LDC does and the grant process, and how it helps and supports our community, our young people, and the nonprofits in the area. So I am happy to be here, and I think we have a good group of members that we work with and support each other. And so welcome, Mr. Burroughs, and hope you attend many more meetings in the future.
So Ms. Walker.
Hi, I'm Takesha Walker. I am in Accokeek, Maryland. I have been on the council for I think about 2 years now. And I think when I joined, I said that my whole reason to be here is because I think that change and impact has to start at the community level.
Okay, Ms.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lattimore. I work with Takesha on the Grant Oversight Committee. And I think I've been on since a year. I think Ryan said I could stay another year. So I had to ask Ryan, am I done yet? But I live in Fort Washington, near the MCM and that stuff down there. Yeah. So my main reason for joining this committee is to ensure that the funds that we spend in Prince George's County are given to the proper individuals, and to pretty much help the youth, because some of our youth nowadays are kind of lost. So welcome. I did vote for you, so I'm expecting great and wonderful things.
That's what I see here. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Lattimore serves on the Oversight Committee. Who are we? Kimberly?
Good evening, Councilman Burroughs. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you.
I am excited to be working with you in this capacity. So I've been on the LDC for 3 years now and chair the Grant Selection Committee. And one of the things that I think would be really helpful, just where you sit in the county, your purview, what you have sort of access to, and from an information perspective, is for you to let us know where some of the needs are. We have, one of the things that, we're doing as an LDC is obviously creating a needs assessment so we can look at the 6 mile radius and hopefully have grant awards that are, commensurate with the needs. But it's always helpful to hear from council members firsthand as to, sort of where some of the problem areas are or the opportunities. So definitely looking forward to you bringing that level of knowledge and insight to these when you're able to come. And great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Kevin?
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. So Kevin Harris here, obviously Brandywine, District 9. Excited to be a part of this LDC team. Congrats to you, Councilman Burroughs. Sounds good, man. Sounds good on you. So congrats to you. As Kimberly talked about, I actually chair the needs assessment committee. So we'll be chatting a lot to work on what we need to do for this 6 mile radius. And so I'm just excited to be a part of this team. Been on the LEC for a little bit over a year now. Great people here. I love them all. That's all I got to say.
Well, I'm glad to know you love me, Brent, but that's good. Most of us were all appointed or most of who are online, Mr. Burroughs, were appointed in February. The appointment, of course, is by the county exec. They're 1-year terms up to 4 years, and then you term out. So that's what we are faced with at this point. Ms. Jackson has her hand raised.
Yes, because you all skipped me. I'm the forgotten child.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of people just trying to jump on the train.
I've been just excited to meet you. But good evening. My name is Rashida Jackson McElwain, and I am a Fort Washington, Maryland resident. Let's see if I can lower my hand. Congratulations on your position. Looking forward to working with you. And I am the chair of the Public Relations Committee on the LDC. So great group of folks. Like most folks, I've joined January 2021, so a little over a year. That's it.
Yeah, and then of course we have Ryan, who is our legal arm. This is the man with the master plan. He works out of the county exec's office and keeps us online with respect to the legal side of things. I'll ask him to just kind of speak for himself there.
Ryan Middleton, liaison to the LDC. Councilmember Burroughs and I actually had a meeting earlier today discussing all matters LDC and Rosecroft, just to give him the lay of the land, and happy to see him here tonight. Also, we got the obligatory mention that we are both members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the greatest fraternity on the planet.
Well, you would have to mention that. Well, I'm from Southeast DC. How about that? Yeah, you would have to go in that direction, huh?
That's it. That's it.
All right.
I'm only saying that because my fellow Noop, Senator Pass, is not online right now, so
Okay.
we'll let them slide on that one.
Let me catch y'all three of y'all in the same room at the same time.
Uh-oh.
Being from Southeast, how about that? Vice Chair Navis.
Yes, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity also to welcome Councilmember Burroughs to the LDC. And I've watched this young man grow up from high school to now, and I couldn't be more proud of him. And I know, and I've always told you, your future looks great. And so I expect also great things from you as we start a relationship and trying to make District 9 great. District 8 great. District 8 great. I have some concerns, no concerns, but I do have some association with District 9 as well because I operate there.
Right.
But yeah, I do. I look forward to working with you. One of the things that I've seen, and this is really is about the homeless uptick that I'm experiencing in the county. It's so concerning to me. It not only grabs at my heart, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed. So as we're looking at need assessment, I would hope that we would at least look in that direction. Just right across from National Harbor, there's a tent where a young man has set up a tent there. Right in Clinton, across from one of my restaurants, there's a tent that has been set up. You know, on many corners within this 6 mile radius, I see people on the corners, you know, asking for support money. So I would just hope that that would be something that we look at as an LDC and something you, sir, would take into consideration in your new role.
Absolutely, and that's very timely. Plechette's on the line. Pleshette, can you talk about the meeting that we were in first thing this morning related to homelessness? And there are a lot of grant opportunities that we need folks to apply to around this topic, but I'll turn over to Pleshette.
Hi, greetings, everyone. I'm Pleshette Monroe, and I'm here a huge supporter of Councilmember Burroughs. I also work in Councilmember Burroughs' office. And so, Ms. Navies, definitely, as you speak about the homelessness in the county, we definitely, you know, a lot of times people aren't aware of some of the opportunities that are available, such as the grants that we're talking about now. And so there are different opportunities as it relates to housing and some other opportunities in the county. But the biggest thing is letting people know that we're here, right? And some of the other opportunities that are available for them. And so I just have a question for you as it relates to some of the opportunities around this 6 mile radius. What is something that you see in terms of maybe a nonprofit, or have there been nonprofits that have come before you that can address some of this?
You know, apparently, I don't think we've had anyone to come before us with asking for a grant. Is that correct, Kimberly?
We've had, not this last cycle, but we've had applicants that where their program charge was around homelessness. But it's been slim given the need, it's been slim. And that's part of the issue, like Pastor Robinson said. However many people were at last year's workshop, there were 14 applicants that came through. And the level of scrutiny and rigor and whatnot that we put folks through from a scoring perspective, it is what it is. So that 14 could become 10 or 9 or what have you. We're in positions where we're talking about giving money back, and all of us on this call know where, you know, the amount of need that exists. So that's why public relations is important, and really trying to get more and more folks to the table to apply is, you know, continues to be a challenge.
Well, let me say this, Ms. Monroe. One of the problems that we had, and the reason we established the Needs Assessment Committee, is we had nonprofits coming in telling us what they wanted to do. They were kind of dictating to us what they wanted to do. And that, I found that as a concern of mine when I first sat down and started analyzing things. And that's why the Needs Assessment Committee was established, so that we can determine what the true needs are. Wait a minute, baby girl. What the true needs are, and kind of dictate what we want to see in the community versus nonprofits coming in with a service and telling us what they wanted to see, and we choose from that. We want to dictate that process. So that was a reason for establishing the Needs Assessment Committee.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Pastor Robinson. And one thing that Councilmember Burroughs was talking about is the community development block grants. And so sometimes there are nonprofits that perhaps may not are housed in District 8, but they can do some of the work in this 6 mile radius. And so we had some discussions around the community development block grants as well. And what I have noticed over my time, and just in full transparency, I worked for county council many years before I worked for Councilmember Toles. And what I see is, even for that particular grant, people, one, they just don't know about it. And two, you mentioned about the complexities of it and having to give this money back. And so what I hear is that maybe we need to make some adjustments in that area because there are needs.
Well, we've already made the adjustments. That's what the whole idea of establishing these committees was about, making those adjustments and screening out some of the things that we saw going on prior to us taking over. None of these things were in place at the time until February of last year. So, and having sat on the council, I'm just sort of a critical thinker and kind of I'm not, what would you say, just criticizing things that I see, but I'm just a critical thinker and how things could run better or be done better is what my mindset is. So these 5 committees were developed as a result of that. None of them existed in February last year. So we are working on these things and pushing forward to get these things done. But what you're saying is what we've already done. So it's a matter of letting these things work. It's the screening process. It catches things that shouldn't be involved. And, giving somebody a $50,000 grant is not a joke. I mean, I'm just not interested. I'm along with Ryan. We're just not giving people money just for the sake of giving people money, or those who don't know how to fill out an application. It's just, I can appreciate, the whole idea of you wanting to provide services, but I think when I first came on the committee about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I can't remember what it was, but I'm looking at the application at the end of the application period, someone who received $25,000. Well, $18,000 at 25 went to buy a van, and the remaining monies were for whatever the services were. And he's gone the next year with an $18,000 van. That made absolutely no sense to me. Those are the kind of things that we're looking at. And I understand what you're saying, but you can believe you and me, all of that's in place as we go forward. So those things.
Just that, it sounds like it sounds like you have the right structures in place to get to where we need to go. The reason why I mentioned the meeting earlier is because there are 48 community development block grants. Most of them are around homelessness and housing insecurity. And one area that I would love to partner with the LDC on is making sure that in the future, we have people in District 8 and District 9 apply for these. So this is outside of the current, this is outside of, kind of your typical structure, but there's money that the county has that when I look at the list, I only saw 2 out of the 48 community development block grants were going to service District 8. And you look at District 1, District 2, District 5, there are tons. And this is money that, us working together, we want to bring home to District 8, to District 9. And so, I raise this to Ms. Hopkins Navy's point is that, we have the need. We also have the need here in District 8, District 9. I know you're very busy now dealing with what you're mandated to do, but there are also additional resources out there that the county has that maybe together we can work on and find an entity. When I look at a lot of the groups that receive this money, is a lot of municipalities. And frankly, we don't have as many municipalities in District 8 and in District 9. So I see the town of Landover Hills, 115,000, town of New Carrollton, town of Riverdale Park.
Forest Heights.
Yeah, Forest Heights is not on this list. Hydesville's here, Kenilworth Avenue, Edmonston, College Park, Largo. And so, not to hold up your meeting talking about this, but hopefully in the future, this might be an area that if the LDC is interested in, how do we go to a Forest Heights or go to some of our local nonprofits who care about homelessness and compete for this money moving forward? It's something that I would love to work with you on.
Yeah, that's something we're doing. As I said before you came on, I just told Kevin, the Prince George's County nonprofit, there's well over 100 nonprofits that we can look at, analyze, and send invitations to with respect to the kind of things that we want to see in District 8. Now, of course, District 8 kind of includes some of District 9 now that we have expanded the radius. So I'm excited about that. We need to take a serious look at, because those borders are kind of close. So we need to take a serious look at what that includes in District 9 along with District 8. However, we are still subject to, I can appreciate the community block grants. We're still subject to who applies for the LDC money inside of the 6 mile radius. So we have to keep that in mind. The selection process is in place, the points process is in place, those kind of things. But we want to, as I was saying to Miss, who was it? I'm sorry, Miss Morrell. As I was saying to Miss Morrell, we have to stay inside the guidelines that we have been afforded to operate in with respect to who applies for the money. So, and then of course, outside of, and what you're talking about is the community block grants, we have to look at that another way. I don't know how we would look at that, but my interest is in sending invitation to a organization that deals with homelessness within the 3 mile radius. We can do those kind of things, but we have to know who they are. We have to know who they are. We have to know what their concerns are, what they're offering to the community. And then of course, they've got to get through the selection process with everybody else that's bidding for the money. I think we have $800,000 that we received from MGM this year. Last year was only 500,000. And that just depends. Of course, the pandemic had some impact on that. And of course, this year we were able to, because of Senator Patterson and because of Delegate Turner, we were able to get a bit more of that money. They were taking that money from us and then moving it on, which cut us short. Now it's taken from off the top before we get the money coming to the local development council. So it gives us a bit more money than we were getting to begin with. So this year it's 800,000. Last year was 500,000. The year before, I think it was close to, Kimberly, correct me if I'm wrong, close to 900,000, somewhere around in there. But so, you know, that fluctuates based upon how much money is coming off of those tables. So that's what we're faced with. We don't know what we're getting until we get it. Once we get it, then of course that's up against who is applying for the money. Again, with Kevin and his crew, we want to do a needs assessment to make certain that we pinpoint what we want to see in District 8 and District 9 now, based upon what the true needs are. So that's where we are with it. So we're excited about our movement forward. Of course, this has been a year that it's taken us a bit of time to put these things in place, but we're on it. And we're stepping up to the plate, and we'll perfect this thing as we go along. Then standard operating procedures, of course, that will, if anything, well, I've still been talking with the county exec's office with respect to staggering these term limits. Losing 5 people all at the same time was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. So we need to stagger these term limits. It's 1-year term limits up to 4 years, up to 5 years, I believe. So we've been talking about that to try to eliminate what happened to us last year. So those are the things. Those are some of the things that we're dealing with, but we're dealing with those internally. Ryan has been a great help in doing that. So we will get there. I promise you that. As long as I'm sitting in the seat, we will get there. So it's just a matter of us and these other things that you're talking about with respect to the community block grants. Maybe we need to talk about that, see how we can incorporate. I don't know how we can incorporate that at this point, but we can at least start to take a look at that and see how we can incorporate that in what we're doing, particularly when it comes to the advertisement of the local development council's website. So,
absolutely.
Okay. So, Miss Morel, it was Miss, it was Miss Morel or Miss Monroe?
Monroe, Pleshette Monroe, Pleshette
Miss Monroe,
after
I'm sorry,
Suzanne Pleshette and Monroe after Marilyn Monroe.
yes, okay. I think I called you Miss Morel. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, that's okay. No problem, Pastor.
Okay.
No problem at
Yes,
all.
ma'am. So with that in mind, we want to hear from our public. If we have any comments from our public, and would like to hear from you, if you have anything that you would like to put in the chat box. Ryan, do we have anything in the chat box? Anybody wants to say anything to us? Mr. Jordan and who is at the, well, Mr. Jordan and Miss Morel.
So Pastor Robson, it's Kevin real quick. Before we jump there, I did have a quick question for Kimberly. I'm not sure if she was able to finish her report, but I do have one quick question. Do we know the number of people that have submitted their application so far? I know the deadline is not until Friday, but do you have oversight into how many submitted so far based off the 90 that attended?
I don't. We can get that from Ryan, but I know that the county's got about a week until like the first week of April to go through their the vetting process and OMB and everybody else. And so I'll get a final count after that. But in terms of who submitted so far, I don't, Brian, I don't know if you have that information or not, or the number of folks that have submitted so far.
I don't have that number on me right this moment, but I can get one for you from web support tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's my only question. Sorry about that.
Okay. Mr. Jordan, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. No questions. I appreciate the information and everybody's time.
All right. I'm glad to have you with us this evening. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope
yes,
this has been educational. And if you can help us with any recommendations you have, any suggestions you might have, we want to hear from you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We want to hear from you. Ms. Morel?
Yes, it has been a great joy of being with you all tonight. I'm a member of the Coffee Club, District 5 Coffee Club, and also a graduate of Citizen Police Academy. But I had pulled up the email and I said, okay, I'm going to see and attend this meeting tonight and see what could be shared that I could take back to the Coffee Club and share with Mrs. Carolyn Lowe. I know some of you all might know her. Also, I think I'm familiar with, Kelvin has been to the Coffee Club and have spoke. And also I'm familiar with Mrs. Mary, Mrs. Nice, that is the owner of most of the McDonald's. And so it was a joy being a part of this meeting and, you know, learning some things that was going on in the county.
Yes, ma'am. We know Ms. Lowe very well. She serves on, we serve on the Citizens Advisory Council for the new chief. And we talk all the time. In fact, I saw this morning at the post office, they were not within the radius until we made, or portions of Clinton were not in the radius until we made the changes last month. I don't know how much of, I'll have to take a look at how much of Clinton is included in that, and as to whether she will be able to do some of the things that she wanted to do a couple of years ago. So we'll inform her of the change to the 6-mile radius and kind of go from there.
Okay, great. Well, I truly have enjoyed it tonight.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us. And as always, we trust that something we say or do will have a positive impact. That's why we do these meetings publicly. And glad that you were able to join us this evening. We have someone on the telephone with a telephone number ending in 203. I don't know who that is, but if you'd like to make a comment or something you'd like to say, we want to hear from you. Okay, well, we are finished with that in mind. If, as I would say at the end of church, if all hearts and minds are settled, you know, now, Mr. Burroughs, we have a standing issue here, particularly as it relates to Delegate Turner and Senator Patterson when we call for a nomination to close these meetings, these two busters here, boy, they show up quick with a nomination, a second, faster than I can get the words out of my mouth. So we normally try to exclude them from making any decision closing these meetings. But we're going to, since Senator Patterson is not here tonight, we're going to go ahead and ask, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So
Second.
see what I'm saying? So the motion to adjourn has been moved and second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Mr. Burroughs, I know that you were on the phone, but if you can shoot me your telephone number, something other, we'll talk offline and kind of go from there. And we'll go from there. So with that said, good evening, everybody. We will continue on with our plan to make District 8 and a portion of District 9 better. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Good to see everybody. All right.
Okay.
Good
All right,
night.
take care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great night.
Have a blessed remainder week.
Thank you.
Thank you.